Hello. Hello, Peace Paradise. Just getting started. Just waiting for everybody to hop in. Hi. Oh, Jesus. What the? Jelly just had a sudden itch. Hello, Pros Garcia. How are you? We just started. Just waiting for the night to get started. And we got little Charlie here. Little Charlie. My husband calls him Chewy. Always calls him Chewy, not Charlie. Even when he scolds him. Oh, what's the matter, baby? What's the matter, baby? I'm good. I'm good. I had such an awesome day today. Hubby came back from visiting his mom in the nursing home and said, do you want to go for a motorcycle ride? Which was exactly what I was thinking I wanted to do. Yesterday with the girls, had a bit of a hangover today. Very good. Lots of fun. We played 2 board games. It was super, super fun. Laughed our butts off. Like, such a good time. Then today I went for a motorcycle ride with hubby because it was a beautiful day. Yes, I can talk about Say Yes to Goodness. And then we went to my favorite all-you-can-eat sushi restaurant. Hello, Dali. So somebody wants to know about Say Yes to Goodness, so we'll talk about that. When people read my relationship books, and if you're single, you start with No More Assholes, you move to After the First Kiss, you get to Fix That Shit, and then they're like, what's next? And I go, Say Yes to Goodness, because now that you're learning how to make your relationship awesome, it's time for you to learn how to make your life awesome, everything else. So this is a perfect companion to any of my books. What time is it in Canada? It's 5 a.m. in Sweden. What are you doing up so early, my love? What is it right now? It's 11:05 p.m. So Say Yes to Goodness. I take a look at 10 areas of your life in here, and I tell you how you should be thinking about them, how you should be viewing them, what your perspective should be on these 10 areas. I get you thinking of yourself and your world differently, because I don't want you to just be happy in your relationships. I want you to be happy. And here's the thing, guys, when you get to 0 fighting in your relationship, I'm amazing. You really create a superpower within yourself. So now it's time to really kind of vibrate that outward and just create so much more for yourself. So Say Yes to Goodness expands you beyond your interpartner relationship, and really talks about other areas of your life that are affecting your heart and your mind and your soul, and how you should be stepping into them. Does that answer your question, my love? It's honest. It's my smallest book. Really easy read. Where can you purchase? In the States, Amazon.com. iBooks, Barnes and Noble. You can walk into any bookstore, say, I want to order these books. Yes, you can read Fix That Shit even if you're single. There's no such thing as too much knowledge. Knowledge is power. I bought that one. Yes. What did you think about it? Did you read it yet? Trying to learn how to not be in a toxic relationship. So it starts, if you're in a relationship, Fix That Shit teaches you how to not be toxic in your relationship and give space for your partner to change their own behaviors too. Reading Fix That Shit if you're single is really valuable, because you know how to step into a relationship, you know how to be in a relationship, and foresight is amazing. It keeps you from making mistakes. But do also read No More Assholes, because you need to find the partner that you can make this work with. Because if you're with the wrong person, you can do all the right things, it's just not going to turn out because they're not in the right mindset. I'm really trying to learn how to meditate. Good. Good. That's awesome. I hope you're signing up for my No More Insecurity course, because I'm really going to do a deep dive into meditation. Day 1 is me teaching you where your emotions originated from so that you better understand your emotional reactions. But then also I end this lesson teaching you how to meditate. Did it for the first time today. How was it? How was it, my love? I'm glad you guys are getting in on this. Actually, I want to... It's really exciting because there's like hundreds of you that are on my page of meditating every day now. And ooh, it's so exciting, you guys. Seriously, my soul lights up every single day when I see that. All Canadian girls hate Middle East boys. That's not true. Which book do you recommend I read first? Just got into a new relationship after a really bad one. After the first kiss. This is going to get you through the insecurity phase, which tends to happen when you realize, oh, like I'm emotionally invested in this and this is scary. So after the first kiss has you transitioning from the courtship phase, because you can't stay in the courtship phase forever. And I really want you to understand reality. So I get you transitioning so that it's not a bumpy ride going from courtship into settling into your relationship. So there's courtship, there's settling in. This tends to include some insecurity. And then after that is fix that shit, which is the reality phase, which is where the baggage starts coming out. Oh, look at this. It felt nice. Good. This is Ariana. She's meditated for the first time. It felt nice. I was a little worried I would do it wrong, but I felt relaxed. Yes, my love. Good. Tried ending things with him because he isn't ready. He keeps on texting and wanting to see me, of course, because he wants the sex, my love. He wants the sex. He wants the sex without strings attached, and just say, no, I'm sorry, but I'm not going to let you waste my time. I'm not going to let you take up my space. I need to find somebody who wants to commit to me, and that's not you. So I'm sorry, like I've redefined my next relationship and you are not it, because commitment is what I want. I really want to teach my son to not copy his dad. Yes, that's good. I like that. My mom and I, because she says he's abusive, that's why I say that's good. My mom and I haven't fought in months. Why am I feeling bored? How do I get out of it? Tori Lynn, say yes to goodness, my love. Like you're what's happening is your brain is you have a clock. You have a clock based on habits. Time to fight, and there's a restlessness going on because it's time to fight, but the fight isn't happening. And so I want you to not give in to this restlessness. Every time you feel that, I want you to say, yes, goodness, thank you, I accept you. Yes, goodness, thank you, I accept you. I like that you say the mantra to just surrender. Yes, my love. In a toxic relationship, how do I start the conversation to end it? I don't think there has to be that much of a conversation if it's toxic. It's just about boundaries, right? It's I need to be in a relationship where there's more what you're not getting, right? Respect. I don't know what it is. I would suggest, like, if you really need help with this, that you book a one-on-one coaching session, because I would personally, rather than give you some quickie advice, which, if you're trying to extricate yourself from a toxic relationship, I really feel in order to give you the right steps, I need more information. So I would suggest you book a one-on-one coaching session, and I would get more information, and then I would give you the appropriate script. Hello, my love, Claudia. My cousin had her first kid today. I got to be in the room. Oh boy, was it a roller coaster, I bet. What do you think of reality shifting? I think it's amazing. I think we can shift our own reality. Absolutely. I've got a good guy, but we made plans to spend time, and he left me hanging. Thoughts? Move on. I know Alex Trebek, great Canadian icon, has passed away from pancreatic cancer, which is sad. How do you get over that awful feeling of rejection? I don't want to be with anybody who doesn't want to be with me. You turn it into empowerment. You don't want me? Motherfucker, I don't want you. I don't want to be with anybody who doesn't want to be with me. I'm not going to be emotionally attached to somebody who doesn't want to be with me. I'm not going to be spiritually connected to somebody who doesn't want to be with me. You don't want me? I don't want you. I don't want to be with anybody who doesn't want to be with me. Freedom. That cuts the cord. That's your mantra. Baby girl, you say that till you believe it. Muscle Menace. You say yes to goodness. Would you date a 25-year-old? Would I? I'm almost 50. He'd have to be hella mature. Messages don't show at all? I don't know. Never seen two pretty best friends. Yeah, I know. I saw that one too. I disagree. I think my friends are very attractive. And what I love about my friends is, like, listen, I wasn't always as glitzy, but my pretty friends were the ones that are like, let's put some heels on you. Let's brighten you up. Let's teach you how to do your makeup. You're wearing that? No. I'm gonna pull a dress out of my closet that's like much sexier than what you came over with, and then we're gonna go out. So that's the kind of girlfriends I have. What can I do to be a better communicator? My love, I really suggest you either get Fix That Shit or take my No More Insecurity course, which I'm bundling with my Communication for Couples course, which is 2.5 hours. Being a better communicator is not a quick answer. It is a process. It does start with meditation because meditation helps you calm your ego. What keeps us from being good communicators is our ego wants to step in and speak for us. That's why I say it's a process, because getting your ego to quiet down truly is, a process. I was saying I'm 29. I like having with older. Sure, that's no problem. Talking about marriage. Almost 50. Yeah, thank you, love. Ex reached out, asked if we could talk. We did, and I worry because I don't know his intentions. Why didn't you ask? Ask. What did you talk about? What did you talk about? He reached out and you talked? What did you talk about? I'm hella mature. I own my own business, writing a movie and a book at the moment. That's amazing. That's really cool. Oh, honey, you can't take me on a date. I'm married. Long distance tips: do not fight. You cannot make up properly long distance because you can't hug. You can't create that oxytocin that helps you forget some of the pain from the fight. Sweet when we talk, dry with messages. Why? I'm dry with messages. I'm super dry with messages. Because I don't want to spend all my time, like, I like to be present. And so that means I don't like to have my face on my phone typing up messages all the time. So it could be that, right? It could very well be that. Long distance, yeah. No fighting if you're long distance. How often should someone see their boyfriend or girlfriend? As much as they want / can. I don't think there's any, more or less kind of, I don't think there's a more or less thing. Basically wanted to catch up, but he also wanted to talk about when we broke up. Okay. I can watch you forever. I love that. Hello, love. Nice guy is into me, but honestly I find him so boring. My husband was boring and unattractive, right? Then I realized how quality he is. He's a quality man. He's generous. He's patient. He's kind. He's thoughtful. Then I found out he's so sensual. Oh, he's a good lover. He's so confident. Super sexy. He's really smart. And what came out over time is how funny he is, because he can actually be really super goofy. My friends didn't find out until they knew him for 10 years how funny he was. And I'm like, now they're saying, oh my God, I never knew Dennis was so funny. And like, wow, like I'm really liking him more and more. And I'm like, that's because he's letting you in. comes and goes, is cold in text but sweet in person, no contact for a while, back again. Inconsistent is what you're talking about. I would cut that off and say, listen, this has been fun, but I'm really looking for somebody consistent. And this inconsistency for me is unsettling, because, consistency is quite comforting in a person. And since you're so inconsistent, I'm really going to have to cut the communication. Canada has a dating coach. Yes, indeed. Thank you for the compliment, Pierre. My boyfriend wants me to move to London so we can be together. I'm too scared. You don't have to do what you don't want to do. How do you deal with a moody partner? You don't. You detach your emotional roller coaster from their ride. You don't have to ride someone else's ride. If they get moody, you can just go do your own thing and let them do their thing. Let them go through their mood. You take care of you. You take care of your emotional well-being. You take care of your own stability, and you don't need to ride someone else's ups and downs. I don't need a degree. I didn't think it was necessary to go get letters after my name, because I wasn't going to go work for someone else. So I didn't need to show qualifications to get through a door. I created my own door. So instead of letters after my name, which is, one of those triggers in people's minds, like, oh, you know what you're talking about, which, here's the thing, is not necessarily true. When I went to therapy, they took notes. Not on they were learning from me. They were taking notes and learning from me. So, and then, statistically, 50% of the time when people go to therapy, they don't feel they get anything from it. So letters after name, it tells your brain the person is qualified, but it doesn't mean they're qualified. So what I decided to do instead of getting letters after my name was, these are all my books. So I decided that I would put my knowledge out there. So almost 3,000 TikToks, a blog with, 80, 90 blog posts, YouTube channel. What else do I have? There's something else too, I forget. But I have my knowledge is out there, right? If you want it all in one place, then you'll buy a book. If you want to go get it for free, you just go through my content. But come watch my lives, right? Like I really put my knowledge out there and I let that speak for itself. I'm a mom. Do I have any regrets? That's a good question. Yeah, I do. It does speak for itself. Thank you for that. I do have regrets because, I came from an abusive mother who came from an abusive mother. So epigenetics meant, there were certainly some very negative tendencies inside of myself, and abuse was one of them. And, neglect and disassociation, the ability to be uncaring and unempathetic. And, I was not the best towards animals because that's the way abuse trickles. It's to a weaker form, right? So my mom abused a child. Her mother abused a child. I didn't have a child as a child, but I abused animals as a child. So I have those memories and they haunt me. They do. I regret that. I certainly regret things that I've done in the past that, where I've hurt other living beings and I've left things behind. So, yeah, I have those regrets. Those are the only regrets I have. I don't regret my relationship choices because they gave me the lessons that I get to teach you. But I do regret hurting beings that could not defend themselves against me. That I regret. Yeah. But I changed that. What should I do if my partner has a difficult time changing his toxic ways? Then you leave them. You leave them. You don't. We don't need to fix wounded birds. It wasn't my husband's job to fix me. It was my job to fix me. And when I fixed me, when I started to gain ground, and my husband and I were both toxic towards each other, when I began to change and gain ground towards a better me, you know, he was still in that old state. You don't force people to change, you model change, and then you encourage them to join you. And that's what I did. I changed, and then my husband was still in that old state. And then I said to him, I am happy and in the moment, and I'm looking towards the future with optimism. I'm not looking at the past anymore because it is irrelevant. But if you stay there, I will leave you behind because I am moving forward and you are staying stuck in the past. And I don't want that to happen. And that's what I said to him. And he began to change with me because he really began to see what I was modeling, what I was doing. That was an honest thing that I said because I had been meditating. I had been redirecting my thoughts. I had been controlling my impulses and not vomiting into the relationship. And so creating space for goodness to happen. I was communicating better. You know, anybody who reads Fix That Shit knows exactly what I'm talking about. I was listening to my husband and saying, what do you feel the problem is? And writing it down and saying, what do you feel the solution is? And then writing it down and then putting that on the fridge so that he was aware that I was working on it. And so when you begin to model good behavior, when you become the emotional leader, the partner who loves you will follow your lead, but the one who loves dysfunction more will not. And those are the ones you leave behind. Lucky for me, I didn't have to leave him behind. I got a good man. I got a good man. How do you find a good mature woman? Manifest. Know what you want. Like good mature woman. That's so vague. You know, what's missing in that? A good mature woman. Well, what about kindness? What about thoughtfulness? What about generosity? You know, what about fun loving? What about confident? How does she want to spend her Sundays? What are her big life goals? Fill in all the gaps. And then you can start manifesting what it is that you want if you get really detailed. I have 3 vision boards, you guys. Fill in all the details. Let the universe help you achieve what it is that you want. Thank you for being so open and honest. Yes. Oh, you guys, I love you. You're amazing. Toylan, thank you. I couldn't have come into my For You page sooner. Man, your strength. Whew. Yeah. What creates strength, eh? What creates strength? You don't get strong without lifting a big weight, right? Isn't that right? You get strong by lifting the heavy weights over and over again and just doing the work and showing up and doing the work and showing up and eating the right food. So that's what I've been doing. I've been doing the work, eating the right food. Do you still remember a relationship that left negative impact on your life? No. Do you know why? The word remember, that's the key word here. Like if you said, you know, is there a past relationship that left a negative impact on your life? I'd kind of think about that longer, but you say remember, and I go, no, because I'm in the moment. And this is the beauty of meditation. Like you kind of start to lose concept of time. Like people will say, what did you eat for lunch yesterday? Or what did you do yesterday? Honestly, if you ask me what I did yesterday, it would be hard for me to come up with my day. Because I'm in the moment. I'm always in the moment now. And it's interesting for me to have this shift happen because what I used to be was always in the past and spinning in the past, you know, and now the noise has quieted down and I'm very super present in the moment and my focus is in the moment and on the future. So in the moment being appreciative and being plugged in, and on the future in terms of like, what am I building in my mind that is going to play out? What is the future that I'm going to step into? What is that energy? I'm always projecting an energetic future for me to walk into because I'm really intent on what I'm doing. And what I'm doing, my intention is for this to blow the fuck up. I want this to get massive. I want my books to be the next 5 love languages. By the way, that book should never go away. The 5 love language quiz is vital to your relationship. But I want my books to be up there with the 5 love languages. I want everybody to know my name because everybody knows my lessons. Everybody is using the no kissing for 3 months dating rule to find a long-term relationship. By the way, if you want to play, just play. Honey bunny, got nothing against that. I'm an ex-stripper who took my husbands, each of them, to swingers clubs for fun. So I have nothing against fun. But when you want a long-term relationship, you have to make your behaviors match your intent. And no kissing for 3 months is a vetting process. You need to vet. So spending 3 months to vet someone's character, personality, compatibility, life goals, truthiness, means you can step into a relationship with more confidence because you have foresight about this person, and your insecurity phase will be greatly reduced, causing a lot less friction, paving the way for a fight-free relationship where you unpack the emotional baggage that you picked up along the way because your mom shit on you, your dad shit on you, your exes shit on you. So that's what I'm always working towards, instead of looking backwards. So no, I don't remember anything in my past relationships that left a residual negative impact in my life because I'm so good in this moment. So yes, thank you, Dr. Bing. Hello, my love. I left an emotionally abusive relationship 2 months ago. He seems genuine and wants me back. Yes, sure, he's genuine. What is the change? What is a change? Can you see it? Is it evident? If the answer is no, you don't go back. I don't mean the genuine. Of course, people get genuine when they miss what they want. That's a no-brainer. That's a no-brainer. What is the guarantee that this person will not be abusive again? Right? What is the guarantee? That's 2 months. That's not long enough. That's not long enough. It's 3 months before stepping into a relationship with somebody. You already have a history where this person is abusive. You need more than 2 months to see a change of behavior, in my opinion. Fix That Shit is relatable to everyone. Love languages is only relatable in some parts. I disagree. I mean, I agree that Fix That Shit is relatable to everybody. I really do think everybody should know their own love language and know their partner's love language, because for me, learning my husband's love language meant I stopped feeling unloved because he wasn't saying words of affirmation, which is my love language. Easy way to figure out who is the toxic one in the relationship. Instead of trying to figure out who you should point a finger at, just put all your focus on you. Life begins when you ask the right question, right? So instead of the question being, which one of us is toxic? How about saying, how am I going to ensure that I am the best person I can be in a relationship? And Fix That Shit and do what's in that. If you're not meditating, I guarantee you're vomiting in your relationship, because you're having a stressful day and then being short with your partner. You're PMSing and being short with your partner. So you haven't reduced your stress, fear, and anxiety. You haven't consciously done that. Maybe you're not spending enough time resisting your impulses, right? So keeping your mouth closed until you think about what you want to say before you say it. Watching your TikToks help me so much. I love that. My marriage has grown and has become amazing. This makes my heart grow, and so I love that. I love this. This is the words of affirmation that I love. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate this. Any insight on handling a breakup after 5 years with someone who's most likely a narcissist? Cut communication, right? Like people after a breakup will continue to come at you to try and get their fix of your attention. So cutting communication is you protecting your energy. I'm not going to let you ping at me and unsettle me when you reach out. Is being too independent a negative thing for a partner? No, I don't think so. Like my husband and I are both very confident, strong, ambitious people. And we are very independent. In fact, I learned how to be more independent because of how independent he is. And I love that because he really helped me grow into myself, because I stopped being insecure. So that was really great. I love that he's such a good role model for that. And I became so strong and independent because of who and how he is. And I like that, because that is freedom. Independence is freedom. The hand is open. You know, here's the butterfly, right? This is my husband. He's a butterfly in my hand. And this is me. I'm a butterfly in his hand. And neither of us are crushing the other to try and hold them and keep them. So we have a prenup, my husband and I, and he loves that. He says to people, we don't have kids. There's no financial obligation. I have no obligation to pay her out in any way. If we get a divorce, what keeps us together is the fact that we want to be together. And that's beautiful in a relationship, when there is no clenching and it is just absolute freedom. Listen, you can have what you want, even if what you want is to go away from me. If that's what you want, I will not hold you back. My husband asked me for a divorce one time, and this was like, we'd been fighting for 10 years. And the thing is, we were on the brink of divorce. And then I started meditating, and I'd been meditating for 2 months. And it's a good thing I'd started meditating. And I was like, into it already by the time he came and asked us, because I didn't even have an emotional reaction to him coming home. Literally, he came home, came through the door, his shoes didn't even come off yet, and he said, I want to get a divorce. And nothing happened here, because my stress, fear, and anxiety had been reduced. And instead, I heard the voice in my head say, this is because he's so stressed that if he feels that if he took something off his plate, he would feel a bit better. And so what I said to him is, are you asking for this because you have so much stress that you feel that if you took one thing off your plate, you would feel a little bit better? And he went, I can tell when he goes in his head, because he looks up a little bit. And he went, yeah, I think so. And I said, can I ask you for something? If you want this, I will absolutely give it to you. I want you to be happy. I won't keep anything from you. But can I ask you to meditate for 2 months, because I've been doing it and it's really helped me. And can you meditate for 2 months? And if after 8 weeks you still want this, then we'll do it. And he said, okay. And so we did. We started meditating together. And part of his stress was he wasn't sleeping well. He started sleeping better within a few days. It really took no time for him to start feeling the effects of meditation, a reduction in stress, better sleep. So he was still under a lot of pressure for the next 2 years, because part of his stress was moving a business. And he did some vomiting over the next 2 years, and I was equipped to handle it because I was fixing my shit, right? And so I didn't vomit back in response. But son of a bitch, I don't even know why I started that one. Independence. Anyway, I hope you guys learned a lesson from that. Greeting from Netherlands. Hello, my love. Always been obsessive in relationships ever since I was young. What can I do? My love, what you don't know maybe is your purpose. Because listen, I'm obsessed with my purpose. I am so obsessed with my purpose. Like I'm okay with my husband working 80 to 100 hours a week, because I'm working 80 to 100 hours a week. So maybe what you need to do is grab a copy of Custom Made so that you can figure out what your purpose is and turn this energy that you're putting into a relationship, making your relationship your cake. Instead, you can turn that energy into your purpose, your passion, and turn that into your cake, and now your relationship becomes the icing on your cake. You look like an English teacher that comes to class way too much energy. Love it. Do relationships where the man stays home and she works full-time work since men are hunters? There are men who just want to be stay-at-home dads. So like, listen, if he's staying at home and playing video games and doing fuck all, and she's, the supporter, I don't even agree with that. If she's happy with it, that's fine. But, if you came and you said, is that okay? I'm like, that's okay if she's okay with it. But I have nothing against men who want to be stay-at-home dads being married to ambitious women who would rather work. Listen, y'all negotiate your dynamic. Find somebody who's compatible with you. Think about what you want and find your puzzle piece that helps you achieve that. So is it the meditation, or are you backing off after he asked for divorce? It was the meditation, because meditation shrinks your amygdala. That reduces your fight or flight, which is what he was in because his amygdala was overactive. So fight or flight is stress, fear, and anxiety. Those were the emotions he was vomiting and spinning on, and that's what he wanted to distance himself from. And he thought if he distanced himself from me, he would distance himself from those emotions. So my negotiation was, can we do something that for me has been reducing those emotions, and see if it works for you. And if at 8 weeks you still feel like I'm the problem instead of your overactive amygdala, then we'll get a divorce. But maybe this is just your overactive amygdala. And with some meditation, that's what he realized as well. So it wasn't me backing off, it was me offering a solution, a different solution to the problem he had. His solution was to take me out of his life. My solution was to address the core, where these emotions were coming from, which is the amygdala. Do you think relationships, right. Yeah, it can work. When you tell your beloved how you feel and try to communicate with them and they, before you have conversations about how you feel, work on your own feelings first, because otherwise you're just vomiting into the relationship, and that creates frustration in your partner, which creates hopelessness and helplessness because you're always making them the problem or the solution rather than you having the solution. So if your go-to is to go talk to your partner about your feelings because you think that's going to fix you, instead of your go-to saying, how am I going to address and relax and reduce those emotions, then you're putting the cart before the horse. You're being unfair in essence. It's not fair to ask for anything you're not willing to do first. You want your partner to reduce those emotions. What you need to do first is reduce your emotions. And what you will find by using the process to reduce your emotions is that there's a lot less feelings you feel you need to talk about. I have to say, your knowledge about the amygdala is what really motivates me to meditate daily. I love that. I want everybody to meditate. I want to get meditation into schools. Schools. If we can get children meditating, can you imagine? Can you imagine if every child started meditating right now and then grew into adults who had shrunken amygdalas, how amazing this world would be? Huh? What do you think, guys? Should we get meditation into schools? What does it mean when they easily block you but still text you? It means that they want sex, but they don't want you to see their lives. Ownership, servitude, and alignment. Love that. There's nothing wrong with the word servitude. I like to say, I like to be of service to my man. Love is being of service to one another. Love is a verb. Love is what you do to make the other person happy. Ah, hello. Love the answer. It is easier instead of overthinking. Yes. Natalie, are you here? I got out alive from an abusive relationship in June, but also had a miscarriage. Oh, my love. That sucks. Oops. What do you say to him when he stress vomits on you? my husband did that, right? Because he was under a lot of stress. Moving a business when it's a shop is a massive undertaking. And he did it pretty much on his own. So he was under a lot of stress, plus the financial burden of expanding his business, a lot of emotional and mental strain. So he did vomit on me a few times. And what I said to him, so when somebody vomits on you, our reaction, if we haven't dealt with our emotions, if we don't resist our impulses, our reaction is to default to anger because it hurts us. And anger is a byproduct of hurt. And so they vomit on us, which is fire. And then we feel hurt, and then we go to anger and we come back with fire. Now there's a fight. So instead of defaulting to anger, what I did is I stayed in hurt. And so he vomited on me, and I showed him my hurt. And I said, that's not fair. And it stops him in his tracks, because a good man wants to be fair. A good man has integrity, and he holds his integrity like the most important factor he owns. And so when you say to a good man, that's not fair, because, and you show them the hurt, not the anger. Don't go to anger. Show them the hurt and say, that's not fair. And it stops them, because they don't want to be unfair and they don't want to hurt you. It was just a vomit. And so, you know, it stops the situation and it doesn't escalate it. My boyfriend is suffering with depression and he wanted to end it, but then changed his mind. Well, that's good. How do I get rid of anxiety of losing a toxic man I'm engaged to? I would say meditation, my love. Meditation reduces anxiety and also creates clarity. Absolutely get into meditation. Go to my YouTube channel. I have a Let's Meditate playlist. Go to track number 2. Listen to it at least once a day with headphones. Can you meditate laying down rather than sitting up? Here's the thing. If you lay down, you will probably fall asleep. Now, can you drive and go off somewhere and be on autopilot and go, wow, I just drove 5 minutes without really paying attention to what I was doing? Yes, because your brain can take over. So when you're sitting and driving, you can still zone out, right? If you fall asleep at the wheel, not good. So it's the same thing. Don't lay down and fall asleep at the wheel. Stay sitting up. Thank you for your words. Really needed to hear your advice. Yes, you're welcome. I'm giving him a lot of space because he's grieving. What if he pushes me away? You know, just like say to him, you know, whatever you need from me, I'm here. And every now and then say to him, baby, is there anything you need from me? You know his love language and plug that in. And grieving is a really tough process, my love. My sister passed away when I was 17. I didn't know how to grieve then. I went into a full-blown grief when I was in my late 30s, and it took me down a serious rabbit hole. Grieving is a difficult, long process, and it takes a lot of patience to see somebody through that. And they may distance themselves sometimes, right? If you want to stay with this person, you write it out, because time eventually does buffer that pain. How do you cope with a cheating spouse? I don't want to be with somebody who puts my physical health at risk. I don't want to be with somebody who's dishonest. I don't want to be with somebody who takes advantage of me. I don't want to be with somebody I can't trust. That, for me, that's how I would do it. Now, if they were extremely remorseful and willing to fix the problem, maybe I would meet them halfway and overcome my emotions and stay in the relationship with them, but they would certainly have to do a lot of work. How do I know that I have the right man? Grab No More Assholes. There are 12 characteristics that you need to look for to know if it's a selfish short-term thinker or a generous long-term thinker. Thank you. I really appreciated that. I've been doing that. So I'm glad I'm doing the best I can for him. Yes, my love. Doing fix that shit so that you can have a conflict-free relationship and make your relationship the safest place in the world for him. That would help a lot too. Any of your books about how to date after being sexually assaulted? I don't specifically go into that. Whatever your history is, you want to carefully vet. So you want to use a no kissing for 3 months dating rule. So No More Assholes is the book that you need to read. It teaches you how to calm your emotions, raise your confidence, look for the right partner, use a time and space barrier, no kissing, no sleepovers for 3 months. This weeds out the people who would want to hurt you, right? This weeds out the people who are selfish, who want their intentions over yours. So I would highly recommend getting No More Assholes because of all the elements in there that will help you. I would also grab Fake Love Need Not Apply. Where is it? Ah. Where did I put it? Anyways, Fake Love Need Not Apply is also another, there it is. This one here. This one helps too. Because it helps you recognize posers, losers, scammers, and predators. Your wisdom is addictive. Love this. Love, love, love. Love. Guys, can I ask you for a favor? Can I ask you guys for a favor? I took your long distance workshop and booked a 101. This is you. Okay, I see you, my love. Natalie. I'm gonna send you an email. Love all your advice. Thank you. Your anger, anger is a byproduct of hurt, my love. So, Natalie, since you're here, Natalie, say hi. Just say hi. We're gonna have a little conversation right now. We're gonna have a little conversation. What's the favor? I will tell you in 1 second. See if Natalie pops back up. Where have you been on my life? This is amazing advice. Yay! Amazing. I'm here for it. Oh my god, am I getting a hot flash? Okay. I need your help. Yes, I'm here for that. Okay, I'm gonna send you this email right now, my love. Sorry, guys. Natalie just signed up for a one-on-one coaching session. I keep getting buried in the comments. I'm just gonna send you an email, my love. Natalie just booked her one-on-one coaching session, and I always like to be quick on the reply. So I just want to send her this email so that she knows my availabilities and can book her session. I just sent you an email, love. Just bought 2 of your books. You're amazing. Which ones did you get? I love you. I love you. Oh, I love you. We are creating so much goodness, you guys. So much goodness. Natalie XI. Oh, that's interesting. Oh. Natalie, I got the email here, Bryant1. I sent it to Bryant1. Is that going to work, love? Excited for a session, yes. My email is different, yes. Interested in reading some of your books? Yes. Yes. I write like I speak. I write like I speak. How do I sign up for 101? There is, oh, you have such a lovely voice. Thank you. there is a button in the link tree in my bio. It says 101 Private. Click on that. You pre-purchase your session. And then when I see your email, I send you, when I see the order come through, I send you an email with my next availabilities. You pick the time that works for you. I book you in. I have your information because you filled in an order form. I will contact you on FaceTime voice or WhatsApp voice. We do our session over a call, so it doesn't matter where in the world you are. And then we do our session. And it's awesome. It's awesome. You really do. It made me feel like we were having a conversation when I was reading Fix That Shit. Yes. Yes, 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 yes. How do I move on from my ex that I loved a lot? I'm still attached to him. I really suggest you read Come Back Queen. This is the book that helps you get through a breakup. So a divorce or a breakup, a divorce is really just a breakup with a piece of paper and some legalities. Same thing. So I really guide you through the process of going through the sort of the emotional journey you need to make in order to detach from that person. Yeah, and I get you, I get you through your past. I'm a librarian, I'm an author. I get you through your past, and I get you being optimistic about your future. I get you looking towards your future. Natalie's ready. All right, Natalie, I will book you in, my love. Excited. I don't do payment plans for one-on-one, but here's the thing though. I have a No More Insecurity course coming up, and I'm actually doing a payment plan for that. And you can do, so the No More Insecurity course is $291, which I split up into 3 payments per month. So $97, $97, $97. So 3 monthly payments of $97. If you want to pay all at once, I do give you a nice big discount. So you'll pay $199 if you pay it all at once. The No More Insecurity course is 6 hours of Zoom room time in a classroom with me and the other attendees. When we are doing this course, as I'm going through the materials, if you have any questions about anything, then we have a conversation about it. What I teach you in the No More Insecurity course is how to overcome overthinking, insecurity, jealousy, an overabundance of fear or anxiety. So if you're experiencing any of these, then I do recommend you take this course. What I also give you in addition to that is my Communication for Couples course. That is going to be an e-course, and it's 2.5 hours of content for you to go through at your leisure. Both courses come with a workbook. The No More Insecurity course is 2 nights of course content and then a follow-up night. So you do night 1, then you do night 2, and then if you're having trouble with your work, because listen, in order to achieve what you want, you have to do certain behaviors. I teach you why you have those emotional experiences, and then I teach you the behaviors that are going to turn them around. But if you're struggling, then come to the follow-up night and I'll help you through whatever it is that you're struggling with.
This is why dating is bad.
How do I get to your bio? Completely interested in your No More Insecurity course. So you should see up here, it should be like my little, click on my image and it'll take me to my bio. Yes, it's gonna be so good. Yeah. If you click on my images, it should, somewhere around here, there's a little circle with my picture in it. Oh, so you click on that and then you're gonna see there's a link tree. Click on the link tree. You're gonna see it says No More Insecurity, sign up. We had a fight. Oh. Okay. Did you write those books behind you? Yes, I did. There's more actually. I wrote 8 of them. These are all my books right here. Thankful for her helping him being successful. What's your favorite? Bubble tea. Would you like some bubble tea? My stepdaughter used to say that. Would you like some bubble tea? Who would like to do me a favor? Who would like to do something for me right now? Who would like to do, yes, I do one-on-one coaching sessions. There is a button for that in the link tree in my bio. You pre-purchase your session, and then I contact you with my availabilities, and we book you in. Me, I see some me. I would. Abby, you may have to repost later. I would. So, there is a very negative review on Amazon on Fix That Shit. It's an ego vomit. Somebody did an ego vomit on my page. And I would like the ego vomit to be reduced because it's a little too high. Because people will say, found this review helpful. They'll click a box that says, found this review helpful. And because of the amount of people who clicked on found this review helpful, it's bumped over the other positive reviews. And like, there's a lot of positive reviews, but this one is just there at the top because the people who clicked found it helpful. So there's one negative review that's appearing above the other positive reviews because people clicked on found it helpful. What I would like to ask you to do, if you'd be willing to do this, is go to my book on Amazon. I'm going to point you to a button that's going to take you right there. And just click found this review helpful on the other positive reviews. And what that'll do, but before you go, don't go yet. Don't report it. We don't need to report it. Everybody is allowed to have their opinion. It was an ego vomit. There's some falsehoods in there, but I don't want you to report it. Just go click on the other positive reviews, found this review helpful. If enough people find the positive reviews helpful, if more of them find the positive reviews helpful than that negative review, then it boosts up the positive reviews. So here's what you do. Go to my bio, click on the link tree. There's a button that says find my books on Amazon. It's going to take you right to Amazon.com. You're going to see Fix That Shit. Go to the reviews, and on the positive reviews, click found it helpful on the positive one so that those numbers go higher and those reviews get boosted above that negative review. Anybody who's willing to do that right now, say I will. Bonjour. I will. Betty. Oh, yes. Carla. Breen. Sandra. I will already have. Thank you, my love. Victoria. I will do. Lacey. That's okay. You don't need to. Do 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 do. I need. Hello, love. Got it. Will do. Centra. Thank you. Sahara. Love. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, you guys. Love needs to conquer negativity, guys. Love needs to conquer negativity. Love needs to conquer ego. And I don't want people to be turned away from what this can do for them by somebody who had an ego vomit. Hi from Texas. Done, Steffi. Thank you, my love. I appreciate it. I voted helpful on many good reviews. Thank you, Stephanie. Thank you, thank you. I have days where I don't smoke a bowl, and because I realize I haven't smoked, I feel like I have to. I quit smoking pot, guys. So Tiffany, go. Natalie, thank you. Jessie, thank you. Just did it. Thank you, Natalie. Whoosh feeling, is that related to ego? No, positive, like gratitude is not ego. Gratitude is not ego. Ego is it's a red hot whoosh, and it disagrees with what you think about yourself. Hello, Dominican Republic. Hello, hello. When you want to be defensive because of a whoosh, that's your ego. But when you feel big, warm, and fuzzy, that's gratitude, that's love. Just did it. Thank you, Mad Money. Did so, Amy. Thank you. What books you have behind you? Yes, I can do that. Not always pot. Sometimes the CBD, but still. So here's the thing, my love. Don't demonize yourself for that. Your body has cannabinoid receptors. Your body is designed to take this in because it's a medicine, right? Like, why does your body have cannabinoid receptors? Because we were born in the jungle, and this was a medicine that was readily available. So our body was designed to take it in and use it as a calming agent, as a pain reliever, right? As an energizer, because there's sativa, there's indica, they have different effects. So don't demonize yourself for needing it. You need it because you need it. I needed it for a very long time. And then times when I didn't need it, I didn't feel the urge to take it. So when you feel the urge to take it, then take it, and don't demonize yourself because your body is built to take it. It's designed to take it. Even dogs have cannabinoid receptors. And we make CBD for dogs now. Whenever the people around me are upset or sad, I feel this sense of guilt if I'm happy. Detach from that. Like, tell yourself, I have the right. I'm allowed. Give yourself permission. I'm going to give you permission. You have the right to be happy. You have the right to detach your emotional roller coaster from other people's rides. You don't have to go down with them. And in fact, if you stay steady while your loved ones go down, if you went down with them, you guys go down deeper and stay down longer. If you stay steady while they go down, their down will come back up faster because here you are, a steadying force. So it's okay to be happy because it helps the people around you be happier. There's something called infection. So infect them so that their downs don't go so down. Be happy. It's okay. You're doing good for the people around you. Is the second track on your YouTube meditation page the 10-minute love frequency? Yes, it is. How did you let go? How did you know letting go is the right move? The universe told me. When I started meditating, like, I just got so many messages, right? And the first one was I surrender. If you go on my Instagram page, by the way, everybody go on my Instagram and go become an Instagram follower, because once a month I do a giveaway where I give away an hour free coaching. So go do that, just at least so that you can maybe win an hour of coaching. But if you go all the way to the beginning of my Instagram page, you will see I surrender, because that was the first lesson the universe taught me, was to surrender. My friends are like slowly being distanced from me, and I feel so lonely. Why? Why are they being distanced? Why do you think the woman that reviewed felt this way? That's why I say don't report it. She has a right to her opinions. So what she's saying is what people say when they don't like when I say you need to take responsibility for your emotions, for your behaviors. And some people don't like that because they say he should change to make me feel better. And my stance is your decisions are your responsibility. Either you are deciding to choose the wrong partner, and that's why there's this conflict, or you are with the right person, but you are vomiting your emotions. You're not dealing with your emotions. You have an overabundance of stress, fear, or anxiety from situations from your past, but you are not meditating. You are not resisting the impulse to vomit into the relationship and say, I feel bad and you need to change. And so you are making your partner your solution rather than making yourself the solution. And some people don't like that because what they want to hear is you are not at fault. everything that happens to you is someone else's to fix, and they don't like that. And that's what this woman did. She said, you know, listen, if you actually refix that shit, I'm not saying everything is your fault. I'm saying you can calm your own emotions and you can empower yourself and have your emotions in your hands so no one else can upset you. And this person also said that I said it's impossible for men and women to be friends. That's false. I have male friends. I love my male friends. I say I love you to my male friends. We hug, but we have a very platonic relationship. I'm in love with my husband, and my male friends are in love with their wives. So she's vomiting. She's vomiting, and she's saying falsehoods. But like I say, everyone's allowed to have their opinion, but so many people are clicking, I found this helpful, that I feel it may block some people from getting the help that they need. And if you look at the other reviews, you see there are plenty of women who say this book helped me look at myself and realize what I could change for the better. And as a result, my relationship is better. And I want more people to read those rather than the ego vomit. Does that make sense? Does that make sense to you, my love? I read Fix That Shit. As a divorced woman, I learned so much and will carry the goodness into my next. Yes, that's the purpose. Yes. How do you handle workplace bullies in leadership roles? That's a good question. Yes. Yeah. I'm back all done. Thank you, Centra. I love that. The 1-star review is way down now. Yes. Good. I really want love to, you know, like, listen, my ego was way overblown in my relationship. And this is why we fought for 10 years. Because I wasn't owning myself. I wasn't owning my behaviors. I wasn't taking responsibility for myself. And my husband was the problem all the time. And, you know, I started not operating from my ego. And it worked. We have not had a fight in 5 years. Why isn't my music playing? There it is. Why do you sound sad? I don't know. To me, totally, yes. Yes. What were your 4 steps to meditation? Step 1 is surrender, right? Okay. So the other one is I am. So this is affirmations / manifestation. So what you know about yourself and what you want yourself to be. I am strong. I am powerful. I am fit. I am healthy. I am smart. I am happy. I am content. I am loved. I am protected. I am lucky. And then there's also there's gratitude. Thank you for my life. Thank you for my husband. Thank you for this amazing day. Thank you for my shoes that I have. Thank you for thank you for giving me everything that I need. Thank you for these leaves on the trees. Thank you for this air that I'm breathing. Thank you for my body. Thank you for my mind. Thank you for my ideas. Thank you for my inspiration. And then there's quiet mind, right? So where you're pushing out anything from your mind, any thoughts, any TikTok songs, any conversations with people in your head, any to-do lists, and just really focusing in on the music. This requires the most from your brain, by the way. To think absolutely nothing and go into quiet space requires the most of your brain. And then you just keep switching around between the 4. Customer that was on drugs, I don't know, scare the crap out of me. That was strong. Good. I will leave a review on Amazon. Yay, when I'm finished reading. So excited. Yes, please. If you have read any of my books, please go leave a review. This is your way of loving me back. I say love is a verb. Love is what you do. I love to give you guys love. I love to come and do these with you. If you want to love me back, go leave a review either on Amazon for a book that you read or on Google reviews. If you get something from my TikToks, from my lives, go to Google, type Canada's Dating Coach Google reviews, and go leave a review on Google. These are gold to me in so many ways because one, my love language is words of affirmation. When I see your reviews, which I go look every day, I feel so loved. I really do when you guys do that. And also it's a vibration that goes out. It's an infection that happens. And so when you write your experience, it helps other people understand what they can experience. And this creates a ripple effect, and we start creating a movement. If you feel like what I'm doing is beneficial to you, spread it out. Create a movement with me, because that's my purpose. That's what I want to do, is create a movement. Who's with me? Who's with me? Who wants to change the world with me? I just want to change the world. Is that too much to ask? Is that too much? Boyfriend made a weird comment about my body part. Once is nothing. Me? Yes. Once is nothing. Twice is a coincidence. 3 times is a pattern in these kinds of things. I wouldn't make a big deal out of once. If he does it again, and he does it again, then I'd be like, I really need to talk to you about something. When you make these comments about my body, it feels like you're trying to chip away at my self-esteem. Me, let's change the world. I love that. And I don't want to be with somebody who puts me down. And maybe you're not conscious of it, and I'm certainly willing to give you an opportunity to change this. But if this is something you insist on doing, I don't feel I'm in the right relationship, because I don't want to be in a relationship with somebody who tries to chip away at my self-esteem. Can you give examples of gaslighting? Do men realize when they're doing it? Like gaslighting it's bold. It's really bold. I'm mad at you for checking my phone and finding out that I was cheating. I'm mad that you went in my phone and you invaded my privacy. How dare you, right? That's gaslighting. I started meditating because of you. It's really helping me. Thank you. I love that. Thank you. How is it helping you, my love? Give us some details. What is changing? My husband never acknowledges mistakes or apologizes. Are you reading Fix That Shit? Are you doing what's in Fix That Shit? Because my husband wasn't doing it either. But then I started modeling the behavior. I started doing it. Love bombing, how to catch it. Love bombing is like them for a week or two, and they're like, I'm so crazy about you. I see forever in your eyes. I want to marry you. You're the perfect person. They text you, and if you don't reply within 5-10 minutes, they're texting you again. You must be busy right now. They're just intense in their attention, and they don't give you time to breathe. That's love bombing. What book should I buy for advice on a new relationship and self-esteem? That would be After the First Kiss. After the First Kiss is when you just start a relationship. It gets you through the settling in phase, which is where you really need to understand how to settle into each other's lives. For those of you who are watching, I do have a quiz that you can take in the link tree in my bio. So if you go to my bio, you click on the link tree, you're going to see that there's a which book is right for you quiz. It's going to take you like a minute to do it, not even. It's super fun. It's super fast. And then it lists all my books by percentage point. We know which one is appropriate for your goals, for what you want. How do you know you are ready to apologize to an ex and move on? It's interesting that you're asking, no, you're ready to apologize. Listen, if you're asking the question, then the time is now. Then you're ready now, right? I always say if you're old enough to ask the questions, you're old enough to get an answer. So buy them all. I love you. I'll be sure to check it out. Yes. 'Cause So if you're asking how do you know when you're ready, then you're ready. So what you do is you sit down, you write out your 3-part apology. I'm sorry for the and those are the specific behaviors. I realized that this is the emotional impact it had on you, and this is my plan, you know, how you're not going to do this again. And then you just send it to them, give it to them without any expectation of any kind of return whatsoever, because it's a gift. An apology is always a gift, and a gift is something you give without expectation of return, right? It's how a gift actually is. If you give something, you keep the hand out, you're actually demanding an exchange. So an apology should always be a gift. You give it, and then you tell yourself, I have closed this chapter. I have done everything I should do to be a good, conscientious person, and then get no more assholes. Make sure that you are doing the right things going forward to get into a good relationship. Why does my boyfriend have such a hard time apologizing even when he's in the wrong? All of us do. Our ego. It's an ego thing, right? The ego says, I'm not wrong. I'm not wrong. You're wrong. I should apologize. You need to apologize. I'm not going to apologize till you do it first. So that's the ego. If you need to overcome ego, my love, then you do need to grab a copy of Fix That Shit. If you want him to learn to apologize and own his behaviors, you need to model that behavior. Got left on read after the apology, but I felt so good about it. Exactly. It feels good to do the right thing. Never underestimate how good it feels to do the right thing. Your ego will fight you tooth and nail on apologizing when you first start doing it. Fuck your ego. Do not let your ego be your driver. Don't let your ego drive the vehicle, because it's driving you away from love. Love does not have ego. Love is, how can I say this? Love is doing the right thing. Your ego doesn't want to do the right thing. Your ego is about self-preservation, but it doesn't understand how to preserve you properly. It's self-defense, but you don't need to defend yourself against somebody who's not hurting you. You're the one who's hurting yourself, because the truth hurts. And when you don't acknowledge the truth, you don't acknowledge what you need to change. And when you don't acknowledge what you need to change, you don't change what you need to change in order to have a healthy relationship. And listen, we are the blind leading the blind. Our parents were not always excellent role models. Then we chose partners that were a repetition of what we experienced as a child. We repeat what's familiar, even if it's bad for us. So I left an abusive mom and found myself an abusive boyfriend. Yay! So, like, you have to break the pattern. And so you really do have to become conscientious and thoughtful. And you've picked up some bad defensive habits because you've been defending yourself for a long time. It's time to put down the sword. It's time to open yourself up to love and just put the ego aside. It feels so good, you guys. It really does. It really, really does. I cannot stress this enough. So trapped in a relationship, that's not a question. Somebody's asking 5 things to do to avoid separation, as in like a dissolution of the relationship because there's so much negativity going on. I would say one thing to do, which is read Fix That Shit. If you want your relationship to be healthy, it's 50 chapters, right? Now they're short, guys. I make it easy. Anybody who's read Fix That Shit knows I make it easy. It's short, it's plain English, it makes sense, it's perspective, it's tools, it's behaviors, it's some things you need to do every day, creating a new habit. It's some things you need to do in the moment. Resisting the impulse, not saying things until you think about what you want to say, not coming to your partner with problems, instead of coming with solutions that are a product of you taking responsibility for your behaviors, not always making your partner responsible. It's It's having conversations in your head before going to your partner, because we know our partners well enough to know how the conversation is going to go. So before going and having that fight, having the conversation in our head, and if it turns into a fight because we are not coming with a solution, then thinking about it some more until we can come with a solution. So it's not a quickie answer. It is a process. But guys, if I give you one tip, it's meditation. It starts with meditation. It started with me with meditation, and meditation created answers. If you don't want to buy a book, just start meditating, because it will open you up to answers. You will begin to understand solutions. You will begin to use tools that are much more effective than what you are currently doing, because your mind is going to tell you, this is what you should do. And you should listen to that, because that is the universe, and the universe is love. The universe is not ego. Ego is a human concept, not a universal concept. The universe is not love. When people have near-death experiences and they come back and they talk about that, what they talk about is an overwhelming sense of peace. And peace is what happens when you are no longer operating from your ego. So the ego is attached to the human body. It is a self-preservation. When the body dies and is just your soul, there's no need for self-preservation. There's nothing attacking you. So there's no need for an ego when you are just your soul. So when you meditate and you step into your soul and become what you are, which is love, you don't have those whooshes so much anymore, because you are now operating from a soulful place. Ooh, what'd you guys think of that? I love how your questions just like kind of get me going down all these really cool channels. What did you guys think of that? What did you guys think of that? What did you guys think of what I just said? What did you guys think of that? So my love, your husband didn't get you a gift for your birthday. What I suggest you do is do a love language quiz with him together at the same time. Exchange your results so that he can see how important gifts are for you, and you can see what his love language is. Maybe you need to translate instead of being offended. Gifts for me is when I did my love language quiz, gifts is like I didn't even score a point for gifts. I hate buying gifts. I hate buying gifts. I don't tell people on my birthday, because I don't want to feel obliged to get a gift. I don't celebrate Christmas because I don't want to buy Christmas gifts, because I don't want to put my brain in a state of trying to figure out what kind of unnecessary thing I'm going to get you just to make your eyes light up. Now, does that mean I never buy gifts for people? No, it doesn't. I was at an antique store. I have a friend of mine. This is a girl who makes the skincare, Cocoon Apothecary, that you guys hear me talk about every now and then. She loves olds, like old perfume bottles, right? Like Cocoon Apothecary. Apothecary is the name for pharmaceuticals. It's what when you had a stomachache, before we had these big pharma, right? You would go to the pharmacist, you would say, I have a stomachache, I have a headache. He would take some powders or something, and he would create something for you, and he would say, here, take this. What he got these concoctions from was the apothecary. And so Cocoon Apothecary is sort of the care for your skin, right? And so she likes this old stuff. She's very kind of old styly. Her house is old, like it's just this beautiful old house. I was in an antique store. I saw this beautiful white glass old perfume bottle. I looked at the price. It was like 50 or 75 bucks or something. I can afford that. And I bought it, and I went right to her store and I gave it to her. I didn't want to wait till a birthday. I don't want to wait for a Christmas. I saw this, it was her. I picked it up, I brought it to her because it was screaming for her. It belonged to her. And so I got it for her. So, you know, sometimes you kind of need to understand how people's brains works. Like my love language is words of affirmation. My husband's opposite of words of affirmation. His brain doesn't function that way. He doesn't think to say nice things to me. right? But he does think to do nice things for me because his love language is acts of service. And so instead of being offended that he doesn't say nice things to me, I look at what he does for me and I go, that man loves me so much, and I fill myself up. Like, this is what my husband did for me today. He took me for a motorcycle ride because he knows I love going for a motorcycle ride with him. And then he came and ate all you can eat sushi with me because he knows it's my favorite restaurant and I love to go eat there. And then he took a nap with me on the sofa because that's what I wanted to do. Like, all of these are acts of service. This was him loving me. So, you know, what should I do with someone who's childish? Don't be with them. He knows it's my love language, and this is time, so I give him so much time and really speak his. So have a conversation with him. Do you make it easy for him to get you a gift? Like, I do have some jewelry for my husband, like my rings. So with men, if you make it easy, you're more likely to get it. My books are not on Audible yet, but I will be doing 2 audiobooks this month. When I wanted jewelry for my husband, I wanted some jewelry for our anniversary, even my wedding rings. What I did is I went to the jewelry store, I picked out what I wanted, and I said, okay, baby, I know what I want. This is how much it'll be. Do you want to give me the money for it, or do you want to come to the store with me and buy it? And so that way he doesn't have to think about what to get. I made it super clear. I made it very easy. And so that's how I got gifts from him when I wanted a gift. So do you make it that easy? Do you tell him specifically what you want and where he can get it? If you're worried your boyfriend is going to cheat, and you think the only thing keeping him from cheating is you are micromanaging him, dump him. Because this is not somebody who's choosing to be devoted to you. Oh, we haven't argued in 3 weeks. Your book helped me fix that shit. High five. I love that. She feels unimportant. I get that. But sometimes the reason why we feel I would feel unimportant if I held on to my husband having to use words of affirmation with me, right? I don't feel unimportant because I translate his love language. I also don't feel unimportant because I open myself up to being loved by other sources. So my words of affirmation is fulfilled by other people who use words of affirmation. So my love bank is filled by my husband because I translate. My love bank is further filled with my love language because I open myself up to being loved by other sources. So perspective can change how you feel, right? That's what I'm saying. I will not. I feel really uncomfortable talking about my feelings with a romantic partner. How do I get over that? Sometimes I always want to get people to understand how to deal with their feelings before teaching them how to talk about their feelings, because I had a lot of feelings I wanted to talk about with my husband, but then I started meditating and I started balancing, which is one of the lessons in Fix That Shit. I started having conversations in my head. I started thinking about solutions rather than thinking about how he was going to fix me. And there was a lot of things that I suddenly was no longer bothered by. My stress levels went way down, and I didn't need to talk about my feelings anymore because I was feeling loved, because I was understanding how my husband loved me. I was feeling calm because I was shrinking my amygdala. So there was a lot of things that can be fixed before having a conversation. And so I really like to, we have a habit of looking outward, right? And we've been trained that way because everything that we see is, if you have an internal problem, the solution is outside of yourself. If you are feeling insecure, buy a new car, get a new toothpaste. The problem is always someone else. It's always somewhere else. The solution is not within you. You're not taught the solution is inside you. So if instead of looking outward, you look inward and you say, how can I help myself? And you use those solutions, now you become empowered. Disempowerment is when someone else can fix you. Because if that other person isn't doing what they should be doing to fix you, then you are not fixed. Empowerment is, I have the power to fix me. And so now nobody can mess with me because I have the power. When my husband was like, what are you going to do? Nobody's going to want to be with you because you're a stripper. Then my answer was, you're wrong, because I'm amazing, right? So instead of thinking nobody would want me, I turned inward and said, no, this is awesome. This is amazing. And the right person will always want me. Thank you, my love, Samantha. Samantha, so much love. Meditation, my mom always tells me to do it. Yes. Yes. I'm a single girl. What book should I read? No More Assholes. Dress and necklace. Thank you. Thrift store. Thrift store. How do you figure out your love language if you've never been in a relationship? There is a quiz that you can take, Samantha. Go to Google, type in 5 love language quiz, click on images, and you will see a 30-question quiz. Take that. It'll show you what your love language is. Also, when you're dating, I'm from Toronto, Canada. I appreciate everything you say. Thank you. When you are dating, do make sure you're reading No More Assholes. Use a no kissing for 3 months dating rule. Do a love language quiz with the people that you're interested in to see how your love languages align. That way you already figure out before you even get in a relationship if your love languages are compatible or if you will need to translate each other's love language. Someone's love language refers to how they give love, also how they understand it, right? So her love language is gifts. His love language is quality time. But if he tries to spend quality time with her and she doesn't fill her love bank up with quality time, in other words, translate his quality time, then she's feeling unloved. So she's like when we don't understand, like my love language being words of affirmation meant I didn't feel loved by my husband's acts of service because I wasn't translating. But once we did a love language quiz and I realized we had that difference, then whenever I would feel like my love bank wasn't filled up, then I would say, what has he done for me lately? You also have to be careful about expectations. Because expectations are how you put yourself in a negative state. So, for instance, saying, I expect a gift on my birthday. Then you create this anticipation that you will get a gift on your birthday. And if it doesn't happen, then you are now disappointed. Whereas if you said to yourself, I expect a gift on my birthday, and then you said, wait a second, that's an expectation, and expectations are relationship killers. I'm going to remove that expectation and I'm going to say to myself, well, you know what? My birthday is a day just like any other day. And my husband has given me a gift on these other days. If he doesn't give me a gift on this day, that's okay. then you remove the expectation. When you remove the expectation, you remove the potential for the feeling of disappointment. What do you do when he cheats? That's a touchy one. That's a touchy one. Because it depends on him, right? Like, is he a generous long-term thinker? Did he make a mistake? Or is it a selfish short-term thinker? Did he cheat because it's like, hey, it's about me. I wanted it, so I did it, right? If he's a selfish short-term thinker, you dump the motherfucker. If he's a generous long-term thinker who made a mistake, then you want to stay in this relationship, then you negotiate your reconciliation. What if he doesn't believe in love languages? Say to him, like, you don't have to believe in it, but I really want to do this quiz with you because I want to understand you better. And say, you don't have to believe in it, just answer these questions honestly. Implemented Fix That Shit on my family, and wow, it's amazing. That's the beauty of Fix That Shit. That is the beauty. I get so many people who say your books or advice not only helped my relationship, but it's helping my other relationships at work, extended family, close family, friends. Yes. That's the beauty of the stuff that you learn is that it really does ripple out quite a bit. I think I'm so offended because when I brought it up, he said he sucks at birthdays and to get over it. So, I mean, it's listen, he's not using gentle words, which is unfortunate. I suck at birthdays too. I wouldn't say get over it. I would explain, right? Like, I did a love language quiz. Gifts are the last thing, on my list for me. I'm really bad at that. I hate, trying to think of something. I would rather, in the moment, if I see something that applies to you, be like, oh yes, this would be so perfect, and then just give it to you then. But my husband's like this too. Like, we don't do Valentine's, we don't do birthdays, we don't do Christmas, because both of us are like, don't want to force our brain to do that. We would rather be in the moment and be generous in the moment as it comes, or again, like my husband is acts of service, so there's so many things he does, right? Your husband is quality time, so what does he do to try and spend time with you? So instead of looking at what I'm not getting, I really focus on what I am, and it really shifts my perspective, and it really makes me feel loved when I do that, because I don't miss out. I don't not see how I'm being loved. Yeah. Like, I don't want you to be hurt, Lucy. I want you to see if there is love there that you can look at instead of feeling unloved, because his brain doesn't work that way. I have 8 books, my love. So for which book should you read? I really do recommend you go to my bio, you click on the link tree. There's a quiz that you can take. It's super fast, it's super fun. And when you're done taking the quiz, like I said, super fast, super fun. But it'll list all of my books, and it'll show you by percentage which book will be the best for you. Just came across your page. I'm 24 years old. I've been pretty insecure and not enough. Oh, yes. I do have a No More Insecurity course coming up, my love, that you may want to take. Lucy, absolutely. We go to stores and he just bluffs that he's going to buy it. He just bluffs that he's going to buy it. So get him to go to the store with you. Get him to go to the store with you and say, by the way, thank you for your time. Yes, my love. I don't want you to feel unloved. I really don't. I've been there. I understand. I really do understand. I have been there. It does suck. I'm hoping, hello Zambi. I'm hoping maybe there are ways that you are being loved instead of you feeling unloved. Zambi. My boyfriend likes pics of a girl he's slept with. They're friends, doesn't talk with her. He doesn't talk with her, right? So it's just liking, they're not talking. It'd be better if he wasn't. I'd say to him, why are you seeking her attention? Single gal, no more assholes. What do I do if I want to get intimate, but it's important but it isn't important to my boyfriend, it's important to me. Can you find, start making out twice a day, right? A make-out is a kiss that lasts more than 5 seconds. Start kissing twice a day, kissing. And if he doesn't want to do that, maybe reconsider being in this relationship, because if physical affection is important to you but not important to your boyfriend, this is a big difference. And one thing that I realized, being with somebody who shares physical affection as a love language, the best thing you'll do for yourself, if physical affection is your love language, is have a partner who shares that. Do be sure though that you're not using intimacy as something to ease insecurity, which I did, by the way. I'm speaking from experience here, because when my husband and I got married, the sex reduced in our relationship. And I understand why, because with commitment comes a sense of security, and when men feel more secure in their relationships, their sex drive tend to diminish, because part of their sex drive is a subconscious, wanting to ensure that it's their baby in the belly. And so having a secure commitment reduces that part of their lizard brain, and so they don't feel it's necessary to keep making sure it's their baby in the belly. And so the numbers went down. And I initially felt insecure about that until I realized that it was because he felt more secure in the relationship. Also, stress reduces sex drive in men. Stress, anxiety, fatigue, age, the body, starting to get more tired. So all of these things can be factors. So make sure that you're not just trying to get the numbers just to gain a sense of security, to overcome a feeling of insecurity. Advice for marriage. Honestly, the best thing you can do for your relationship is read Fix That Shit, because there's a lot of advice for having a solid relationship. My husband and I, we fought for 10 years. We haven't had a fight in 5 years. Everything that I do is in that book. I don't ask you to do anything I haven't done myself. I don't think that's fair. It's my number one relationship rule. It's not fair to ask for anything you're not willing to do first. So I literally teach you everything that I did to change us from conflict to zero conflict. So my advice for your marriage is to have a conflict-free relationship, because what happens when there's no conflict is there's more closeness and intimacy. With a fight, there's always distance, right? Like people are like, no, fighting is good because, you feel better afterwards. Well, yeah, you feel reconnected because you disconnected. Because when there's hurt, we retract our feelings. So there's a distance, there's a disconnection that happens. And then you make up and then you reconnect. Well, so someone's sense of love for you comes out this much, and then you fight and it goes back in, and then you comes back out, and then you fight and it goes back in. If you don't fight, then there's a sense of safety, which means the feelings grow more. And then you don't fight, and there's a feeling of safety, which means the feelings grow more. And then you don't fight, so there's a feeling of safety, and so the feelings grow more. So the opposite of retraction is growth. So my advice is to have a relationship where love continues to grow, and the process isn't Fix That Shit. What time is it? 12:45. 12:45. Look at me, still going strong. My boyfriend won't open up to me about something, and he says no one can help him. What should I do? You can't make him talk to you, but what you can do is create emotional safety in your relationship, which is exactly what I was just talking about now, which is having a conflict-free relationship. When men feel more emotionally safe, they do tend to become more verbal and expressive, but understand that, men want to protect you. And so the people who go to counseling and therapy and read self-help books are mainly women. Women are seekers of answers. Men go internal and they try to fix things inside their own heads. That's why when you go to talk about like, hey baby, I want to talk to you, there's some things that are bothering me. He goes, oh yeah, well, there's 10 things that have been bothering me. And the reason why he didn't bring that up is because he was in his head hoping it would go away. So that's kind of how they tend to go about it, is just become internal and just try to work it out internally rather than externally. Women are the communicators. We process 20,000 words a day. Even our thought process is a lot more like interactive, and you know, it's think, have a conversation, consider, have another conversation, consider some more, do some more thinking, and then act. Whereas men is like think and do. So their brains are very different. So wanting your man to be expressive like you and communicative like you is not actually realistic, because generally speaking, they're not like us. When you look at her outside, it's kind of different, right? So is the brain structure. So is the chemical makeup, like testosterone, estrogen, fertility cycles, 24/7, a couple days a month. A lot of differences. So also the brain structure is very different. So they do process differently. So allow him his process, create emotional safety, and you may get some more communication. Adelie, huge breakthrough with my man about boundaries and communication with so much love. Thank you. Yay. I love that. I'm here for it. Can we ask questions? Yes. I don't guarantee an answer. I do get a lot of questions, so I do kind of cherry pick a little bit. If I don't have a quick answer that comes, then I may not answer it, just because I try to make it easy. You're super beautiful. I hope more women would be like you. That's what I'm trying to do. I'm creating a love army. How can I stop thinking and stressing about his cheating on me? If you think he's going to do it again, then dump him. It's that simple. If you think he's going to do it again, then dump him. If you don't, take my No More Insecurity course. If you feel he's now trustworthy because he's showing you he's trustworthy, he's doing what you need from him to show you that you can trust him, but you are still having these emotions, take my No More Insecurity course, because those are the emotions I help you overcome. Fear, anxiety, jealousy, insecurity, overthinking. The No More Insecurity course is going to guide you through the process of dealing with those emotions and give you the tools to keep overcoming this until they diminish, because time will heal. Best predictor of future behavior is past behavior. If 6 months, a year, 2 years go by and he's still devoted, not cheating, he's left that behind, you will relax. But you need the emotional tools to meet him halfway if he's making that effort. So do take my No More Insecurity course if that's where you are finding yourself. But if you think he's going to do it again because he's a selfish short-term thinker, dump the motherfucker. Don't stay in this relationship. Why are you putting yourself through that? You're welcome. How do I overcome the horrible things my boyfriend has done? Again, if you think he's going to do it again, don't bother staying in this relationship. If you don't, or you have dumped him, but you're still swimming in those emotions, take my No More Insecurity course. It's coming this Wednesday. It's starting this Wednesday at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. You're so welcome. I just bought one of your books. Yay! Which one, my love? It is not unhealthy for couples to sleep in separate rooms. It's not. My husband sleeps on the couch every night, and he has for years, like 4 years. My first husband and I slept in separate rooms, but there was no intimacy in our relationship, and that is what undid us. Like, we would have sex once every 2 months, and it was like, like, we're married. Like, me saying, like, we're married. married. Shouldn't we be having sex? And then we would. And sometimes we wouldn't even kiss during sex. Oh my God, it was so bad, you guys. We didn't even kiss during sex. It was horrible. So that's what ended our relationship. Now, my second husband, we have a lot of intimacy, a lot of cuddles, a lot of kissing. I made out with him today a few times, right? Because that's how close we are. That's how intimate we are. We make out every single day, several times a day. But we do sleep separately because he sleeps better and he needs to sleep because he works 80 to 100 hours a week. So it's not unhealthy as long as you have a healthy relationship. It's fine. It's totally fine. It's a new thing. It's catching on. People are like, oh yeah, you know what? This is actually pretty good. So because sleep is very important. Oh, how to get over being jealous of a baby mama. Been there. My guy talks to her every day about his son. I know. Yes, absolutely. And I keep saying the hardest thing you will ever do is be with a good man who is a good father, because they put the mother of their child first. Like, work comes first because work pays for the expenses that need to be paid. Baby mama comes, like, the kids come next, but because, you know, the kids are still being raised, then baby mama comes next. So, and then you come after baby mama, which sucks. Until the kids are like 18, right? And then they're like, okay, you know, I did my job. Now I can focus more on what I want rather than what my kids need. And so that's you. And if you've sacrificed one marshmallow today for 2 marshmallows tomorrow, that is you. This kind, thoughtful, loving, generous, sacrificing person who did all this for their children now turns that to you. And so you are now the beneficiary of all this. But they are sacrificing for their children. And if you sacrifice alongside them, then, you know, now you get to benefit from the character of this person, which is fantastic. But I know it's difficult. I've been there. Because my husband has 2 children and they were 8 and 9 when I came into the picture. So it was a long time of me coming 5th. So work, 2 kids, baby mama, and then me, number 5. So I do recommend you get fixed that shit, because I know how much your mind is spinning. I saw it in the right? I know how much your mind is spinning. I recommend you get fixed that shit. And after the first kiss, these 2 books will walk you through what you need to understand in order to have that healthy relationship and in order to get through this time. My best friend keeps attracting the wrong guys. What can she do different? I do recommend you get her a copy of No More Assholes, because my advice is that she meditate and use a no kissing for 3 months dating rule. You're going to tell her to do that and she's going to go, pff, right? Because she attracts the wrong guys and she kind of feeds on that a little bit. If you get her No More Assholes and she sticks it by the toilet and reads a chapter every now and then when she sits down to poop, she might start getting some new perspective. Sometimes it's easier to hear something from someone else than it is from somebody you're close to. Sometimes we feel judged when somebody close to us tries to give us advice. So yeah. Somebody vomiting? Are you a therapist? I'm a coach. I am a coach. I don't have letters after my name, so I have no right to say therapist, but I am a coach. And so what I do is you come to me, you tell me what's bothering you. I help you understand why you feel bothered, and then I give you tools to change the situation. So more often than not, you'll go to a therapist and they just listen to you talk, take your money, and then book your next appointment. I don't operate that way. I listen to your talk. I give you understanding. I don't let you lie to yourself. And then I give you the tools to turn the situation around. How to cool down during an argument? Leave the room. Don't try to cool down standing in a fire, remove yourself from the fire, and then you'll be able to cool down much better. The first kiss is, it helps you understand how to settle into a relationship by understanding all the different components that come with your partner's life, like a baby mama, like their kids, like their parents, like their work, like their dog, like their hobbies, like their friend. It will help if you've been together for a year already, yes. Especially if he's a baby daddy. What made you want to be a dating coach? Everybody was coming to me for this already. I just stepped into it, that's all. How do I handle dating a girl for the first time? Lesbian relationship. Interesting. That's interesting. I honestly don't know how to answer that. Because I've played with girls, but I never had a girlfriend. I did have a girlfriend, but she had a husband. So it's never just been us trying to have a relationship together. And to be honest, my editor is gay, and people often come to me and say, can you write a book for gay relationships? And so I went to my editor and I said, hey, I'm getting these requests. Should I do this? And she said, no, you shouldn't, because you don't know. There's a lot of intricacies that you are not aware of because you don't live it. So my advice to you is to find a role model. And I would say find somebody on TikTok who is in a gay relationship and say, how do you make it work? What should I know about this? What are some things that I may need to navigate that maybe I should have some foresight on? I don't think dirty talking is necessary. I think if you guys want to do it and you think it's fun, then you can. Special order to the exercises in Comeback Queen. I would do it as you're reading it. I would most definitely do it as you're reading it. So, I mean, the other exercises, you can do them in whatever order you want, but absolutely start with meditation, because meditation makes everything else easier. How much is your course? So the course is $291, and I split that up into 3 payments of $97 a month over 3 months. But if you want to do a one lump sum payment, I give you a big discount and you just pay $199. And that's the No More Insecurity course, which comes with the Communication for Couples course. How do I tell my romantic partner who doesn't value my time? He made plans with me and didn't tell. Oh, you guys, if you fracture your question, because I can't because things get broken up, just because while you're writing your second part, other people are popping in their own questions, and then everything gets all split up, and I can't follow it. So do make sure if you're writing me something that is just in one box. Should I refix that shit if I don't currently want a committed relationship right now? Yes. Knowledge is power. You cannot be too informed. You can't be informed too early either. So reading Fix That Shit while you're single is a great way to ensure that you're going to choose the right partner, because you're going to look for the kind of qualities. You're going to look for somebody reciprocal. You're going to look for somebody who learns from other people. You're going to look for somebody who can, who kind of looks to a partner for leadership, and you yourself will understand how to be an emotional leader. So that's good. Why is it common that boyfriends don't like the girlfriend's friends, and vice versa too, right? Like girlfriends don't like the boyfriend's female friends, or like the girlfriends, I think it just might be like fear that you're gonna go out with your girls, and You're gonna see somebody, they're gonna think you're hot, and all your girls are gonna be like, oh, go ahead, go kiss them or something, right? So it's insecurity, right? My husband is fine with my friends. Like, my friends are strippers, or ex-strippers now, because we're older now, we all quit. But my husband has no problem with who I choose as a friend, and it's because he's confident. So if somebody doesn't like your friends, it's because they're insecure. The best book for working past cheating would be Fix That Shit. I do talk about repairing, which I kind of give it like a double meaning. So like you're repairing, you're fixing, but you know, when there's cheating, there's certainly an emotional split that happens, right? There's a lot of pain that creates a big distance, and so you are repairing, you're coming back together. I think I'm gonna have to go soon, you guys. My husband's home. Baby? Oh! Baby? Do you want to come live with me? Baby? You want to come sit with me? Hubby's home. Book to improve confidence and self-esteem. All of my books do. All of them do. All sociological. Nothing with body. I don't understand that. Baby? So kissing your partner is important. Yes. I always ask my partner why we don't kiss anymore. No reason. Just start it, my love. Start it twice a day. At goodbye in the morning, make sure you go give that kiss. When they come home, go give them that kiss. Like when my husband comes home, I go, hey, baby, and I go meet him at the door and I go give him his kiss. Baby love? You want to come sit with me? Okay. My husband's coming. Girlfriend just left me because I had intercourse with her mom. Do 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 do. And then you got to go. I've never been jealous in a relationship before. It may be that you have fear of loss. Jealousy is fear of loss. So it may be that you are emotionally invested and you are afraid of losing that, and so you have a fear of loss kicking in. And that can create jealousy and insecurity. Charlie. Here comes Daddy. Thank you for answering all the questions. I live for your lives. My husband's coming. Hi, come on, baby. Charlie's barking. He's got a mask on. Come on, baby, come.
I'm not gonna answer any questions.
You're not?
No.
Okay.
Just sitting here.
That's my baby.
That's right.
Mm-hmm. I love you. I love him.
Chewy.
Come on, Charlie. And we got the family up here. Oh my goodness. We got some puppy love. We got some puppy love. So you trying to take your mask off?
Ah! Chewy's doing it.
Why the mask? So my husband is very private. And so it's actually a treat to have him come and show up on these lives with me, because he doesn't want people to actually know who he is. Very private. Wasn't expecting that mask, I know. Mask looks like it's for the bedroom. So we went to Belize very early on in our relationship. And there was one time when we were about to do the deed, and I said, baby, keep your sunglasses on. It was really hot. It was quite hot. Can I know who you are? Baby, who are you?
It's a very broad question.
I know.
Yes.
Suggest a book to fix a relationship. That dog is so cute. Yes, I know, little Chichi Charlie. Probably 70 years old. No, he's actually the same age I am. We are 4 months? June, July, August, September, October, 4 months apart?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah. Uh-huh. How do I learn not to settle? Just make sure that you're clear about what it is that you want before getting in a relationship. Baby, my eyebrows are so pretty.
Thank goodness.
That's a girl. Tips on fixing my codependency. Yes, my love. You need custom made because I know it's pretty trippy. Somebody said your mask is trippy. So codependency is I have too much time on my hands and I'm making my partner my focus to fill up my time. So instead you can fill up your time with your purpose and your passion. So grabbing custom made is going to help you understand what your purpose and your passion is. And here's the thing. Every chapter in this book ends with an exercise, ends with 2 exercises, because I want you to figure out what it is that you're designed to do, what you're custom made to do. Baby, where'd you get that mask? Somebody asking what it's based off of.
I don't know that it's based off anything. Dale actually bought it for me.
He bought it for you?
Yes.
For what?
Well, he was getting one too. And that was in the spring when all this COVID was starting. So we're like, oh yeah, let's get those masks.
Oh, instead of...
Right, yeah. If we're going to wear a mask, we'll
Right.
get something cool.
Is he someone we would recognize?
No. And that's the way I want to keep it.
Yeah, exactly. Lovely family. Somebody said we have a lovely family. Is it bad to find comfort in talking to someone, but being clear you need self-work after breakup? No, it's totally fine. That's why I use a no kissing for 3 months dating rule, because that means that you don't have to say like I'm not going to talk to anybody. It's just you're using a time and space boundary so that you can get to know somebody before falling into a relationship. Don't fall into a relationship. Select your partner. So using a no kissing for 3 months dating rule means that you have time and space. So no kissing and no sleepovers for 3 months. It means that you have plenty of time to observe somebody and make sure that you're choosing the right partner for yourself. So you can be dating, so doing the no kissing, you can be seeing multiple people at the same, like you can be seeing 4 people at once. You haven't kissed anybody, which means you haven't committed to anybody, which means nobody has a right to ask you to be committed only to them. You're like, no, I'm not committing to you because I don't know you yet. I'm going to keep my options open. I'm going to make sure I'm choosing the right partner. Anybody who's not okay with that is not okay with you achieving your goals, is not okay with you being okay, is not okay with you making sure that you're getting in a relationship with somebody who cares about you. So using that means you can still work on yourself while still spending time with people and getting to know them, with the idea of choosing the right partner for a relationship. And you can get in a relationship and still work on yourself. Fix That Shit is a perfect example of how you do that, how you can be in a relationship and unpack your emotional baggage, which, by the way, a relationship triggers a lot of emotional baggage. So reading Fix That Shit when you're in a relationship will create further growth. Right, baby?
Correct.
Yeah. Hello.
Hello. Mm-hmm.
Yes. I want to remind my ex about how much he hurt me, even though I know it won't do any good. You're right, it won't. It will not. There is no point. Here's what you tell yourself. Karma always does the work for you. You don't need to go back and try and get resolution with him. The resolution will happen. And the sooner you detach from that need and just look forward, because what you're doing is looking backward. The more you look backward, the less you're moving forward. So stop looking backward, define your next relationship, and start looking towards the future with optimism. That is the best revenge. That is the best resolution, is you moving forward and gaining your path and being happy. You looking backwards is not making you happy. You're not feeling happy at all when you're thinking this. So let go of that and start moving forward so that you actually can be happy. 26-year age difference, too big. depends how old the youngest person is. The older the youngest person is, the less an age difference matters. Right?
I'd agree.
Yeah. Somebody says, I wish I knew all this when I was 21. I always say, whenever somebody says, where were you a year ago? Or where were you when I was younger? I'm like, I'm here now. I'm here now. How long should exes just stop trying? What do you think?
I don't think there's a time frame. I think people should try harder if there's kids involved. But I don't know. I'd say maybe a year, but that's nothing set in stone.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I like the point about there being kids involved, that you try for longer when there's kids involved, because kids definitely come first. Kids come before ego and dysfunction. And I always say, if you're co-parenting, by the way, grab fix that shit, because you do need to co-parent well. You still need to be a functional team. So even if you're not staying together, fix that shit helps you be a more functional team. Is meditating better in AM or PM or before exercising? You choose your sweet spot. It is completely up to you. There's some people who meditate first thing in the morning. Some people do it last thing at night. I like to do it after lunch. So you find your sweet spot in the day that you're going to stick with. It doesn't matter when you do it. It just matters that you do it. And it just matters that you give it the time. If not every day, then you at least 10 minutes a day on average. So if you skip a day, you do 20 minutes. If you skip 2 days, you do 30 minutes on the third day. And somebody says your mask looks cool. Will we ever get a face reveal?
I'd say no, but never say never.
Never say never. I like that. Mm-hmm. I like that. So awesome, so inspiring. Yes, I love this man. He taught me so much. I was talking earlier about how your independence taught me to be more independent.
Okay.
And really empowered me, actually.
I agree. That's very important.
Mm-hmm. You're awesome. I'm so glad I stumbled upon your TikTok. Yay, I'm glad you're here. I'm glad you're here. Babe, we have 69 watchers. Magic number. He has to be so proud of you. Look at everyone who's seeking advice from you. Are you proud of me, baby?
But of course.
Ah, that's super sweet.
Mm-hmm.
Yay. How do you have a good relationship if you don't know your sexuality? Listen, sexuality is fluid. I was bisexual. Now at this point, I just have no inclination to be with a woman. I don't know if you remember this, but when I first met my husband, I was like, you're going to be my only man, but you won't be my only play. I will be with women. I may even have a girlfriend in addition to a boyfriend. So me playing with women was something that I really like to do, and I really enjoy doing, and I kind of, actively sought it out. But now I'm just very monogamous, very, what do you call it? Cisgendered? I really don't care to ever, at this point right now, and that may change because sexuality for me is fluid, and I think we should just be what we want to be when we want to be it. And we can label ourselves, but just because we label ourselves at some point doesn't mean that label has to stay, right? I was bisexual. Currently, the way that I'm feeling, I am not bisexual. Just because I just don't care to seek out a sexual relationship with another woman. So just be okay with yourself as you are and give yourself permission to shift as you feel like shifting. Ooh, somebody says I'm going to buy Fix That Shit for me and my ex, I'm sure our little girl will appreciate it. I'm high-fiving you with my heart right now. That is so amazing. I'm really happy to hear that. Yeah, very happy to hear that. You are so welcome, Ariana. I can't co-parent married and narcissist, unfortunately. Baby, do you know what a narcissist is? Yes, that is my husband.
No, I mean, that's, there's a lot of bad relationships where it's almost impossible to co-parent, and I don't know, you just keep trying.
Yeah.
That's all you can do.
Yeah. And just don't put your child in the middle, right? Like, the only thing you need to talk to your ex about is, arrangements with the kid and money, and that's it. And no other conversations beside that. If you guys have a difficult relationship. What is he wearing? He's wearing his disguise. He's Batman. My husband is a superhero. He doesn't want anybody to know his true identity. My man complains about helping me financially. Is that bad? How would you answer that?
Well, if he's upset about it, I guess it's something that is important to him, which is important to the relationship. Finding a balance is something that you hope to achieve, I guess, but having financial independence is a good thing, but it's not always easy to achieve. So I don't know. I'm not too sure what I'm trying to say here.
Yeah.
Do your best, I guess, is all you can do.
Yeah. I know that my husband was uncomfortable with the time it took for me to build my business. There was a few moments where he's like, you really got to get a job, because I thought I was going to write one book and promote that book and build a business on the one book, but then all these other books were coming out. So I spent 3 years writing books, and I made some income during those 3 years, but not a significant amount. And so a lot of my time was spent just working but not making money. And so I know that he was uncomfortable with that. But I knew what I was working towards, and I knew that I could be successful. And so, I kind of, it was uncomfortable for me with him being uncomfortable with me, but I powered through it, if that makes any sense to you, baby.
I mean, I guess try and give your guy hope that this isn't going to last, and you're working towards a goal that's achievable, and just ask him to be patient.
Yeah. So that, and then also, you may not be paying 50% of the expenses. So let's say you're paying 10% of expenses and he's paying 90%. Then you should be doing 90% of the household chores. It's because, maybe part of the reason why he's complaining is because he feels it's unfair if he's paying more than his, more than 50% of the household expenses, but he's also doing 50% of the work around the house. So make sure that there's that balance there, that you're picking up more in terms of what would require physical labor, while he's doing more that requires the financial labor.
Babe, I love you.
I love you.
See you later.
So age difference, I see you put ages here. So 28-year-old female, 54-year-old male. I think that's totally fine. You were old enough. It's not like you're 19 with somebody with a 26 or 28-year-old age difference. You're very much an adult, and that's the key here is you are an adult, and you're making an adult decision. You're with a consenting adult. To me, that's all good. I am going to head out as well. It's time for me to get ready for bed so I can cuddle. You said that right. Yay. So I can give my husband some cuddles. Give my husband some cuddles before we go to sleep. Would he share you with me? No, he will not. Nope. I wouldn't even, I don't want to share. I don't want to share me. I want, it's like, you know what I say to my husband? I say, all yours. All yours. I love him. It's all yours. I give myself to him. My gift to him is me. It's the ultimate gift. Yes, he does work with his hands. Oh, he does. You could hear it on the on my dress. Is that why? His love language is physical touch and acts of service, and I love that. It's such a perfect combination for me. And mine is physical touch and words of affirmation. So I'm always telling him how proud I am of him because he's really built an empire. And he is very hardworking and very responsible and very, very long-term thinking. And I love his mind. I really do love his mind. Phrases to let people know you're seeing other people. So, this makes sense if you're using the no kissing for 3 months dating rule. So here's the thing. You don't need to tell them you're seeing other people. You need to tell them how you are going about making sure you're finding the right relationship. Hey, I just want to let you know I'm using a no kissing for 3 months dating rule because I really want to make sure that I know somebody before getting in a relationship with them. If they ask you to go on a date and you already have a date set up with somebody, you say, sorry, I'm busy on this date. What about this date? You don't have to say I'm seeing someone else. If they ask, I always say if somebody asks a question, they deserve an honest answer. If they say, will you be seeing other people? You're going to say, well, because I'm not committing to anybody, because I'm not kissing anybody, then, if somebody asks me out for a coffee and I think they might be interesting, then I'm going to say yes. But I'm going to be using the no kissing for 3 months dating rule because I don't want to commit to anybody, which means I'm not going to kiss anybody until I've known them for at least 3 months. Now, if you say I'm busy, and then when they ask you out and they say, oh, is it because you're seeing someone else? That's none of their business. And so that is actually a little bit of a red flag. It's a little bit like of a jealousy thing, and I don't think somebody has a right to be jealous or possessive of you, especially when they don't know you well enough. It's certainly too early to show jealousy and possessiveness. So I would actually be a little bit careful of that. Baby! I'd love to ask my husband about that, but I don't, if I was doing a no kissing for 3 months dating rule with him, and he said, hey, do you want to go out for dinner on Friday? And I said, no, I already have plans, but what about like Saturday afternoon? Do you want to grab a lunch? And he'd be like, yeah, sure, Saturday afternoon. That sounds great. A confident man doesn't say, why can't you see me? Is it because you're seeing someone else? A confident man is, let the best man win. What's with the Mad Max? My husband doesn't want to be seen. Why is he dressed like that? You mean with the mask? Because he doesn't want people to know his face. Because he doesn't want people to see his face. I'm French. But yeah, it's you guys got a treat tonight. So I'm going to go, my loves. I'm going to go. It's bedtime. Do make sure that you go to my bio, click on the link tree. You're going to find a quiz to find out which book is right for you. You're going to find a button where you can check out my No More Insecurity course, which is this Wednesday. What else? Lots of stuff. All kinds of stuff. I love you. I love you guys. Love, love, love. So much love. Thank you for doing this with me tonight. And I'll see you soon. Okay? Good night, my loves.